Hey guys, welcome back to Emlyn in the Mix. I have an awesome little episode for you guys tonight. We're going to be looking at the amazing Parallel Aggressor from Baby Audio. My friends at Baby Audio have given me the chance to check this out. What exactly is it? How can it warm up your mix in a subtle way and make it shine? Well, that's what we're going to check out tonight with Parallel Aggressor from Baby Audio. Before we get stuck into it, this video is proudly sponsored by the Emlyn in the Mix podcast. Make sure to subscribe to that. Check that out if you want to get your weekly fix of audio technology news, software and hardware reviews and overviews. And without further ado, let's check out what Parallel Aggressor actually is, how it works, and how it can make your mix sound really nice. Alright, awesome. So we've got Parallel Aggressor up here on this little ditty I've been working on. It's a pretty straightforward, simple track, and what I'm going to do for this first example here is we're actually just going to apply Parallel Aggressor directly to the master track of this particular track here. So we've got a stereo mix going into Parallel Aggressor. I just wanted to quickly just give you a quick overview of the actual interface for Parallel Aggressor. It's really intuitive, very straightforward. So if we have a look here, so you got three different modes, three different skins that you can use. So you got a dark mode, you've got a light mode, and you got this gray sort of medium mode. I like it on the gray mode, so we're going to keep it on that for the remainder of the video. On the left here, you have your spank, dry, wet, or dial in here. So this is the amount of compression that you can dial in. On the right, you've got your heat dial in, which is your saturation knob, tone and character, which you can dial in here as well. You got your actual spank level. These are your three signal levels here. Your dry levels there and your heat levels there respectively. You got your solo buttons underneath here as well. Now just on the left side here, if we look underneath spank, you have the extra punch. This is really cool actually. This extra punch thing I really like. You've got this extra smack here as well, and then you've got a high pass filter for side chaining, and you've also got a mono mode so you can monitor it in mono. You've got your auto gain over here, your output level, which is your global output level. Then on the right side we've got our heat and your extra options here, which is extra hot. You've got your tone, and then you've got your high pass and your low pass filters for your character and tone. As you can see, it's pretty simple. There's not a lot there, so it's very intuitive and easy to get stuck into working with this, which is really brilliant. All right, so let's check out my track here. I'll make sure Parallel Aggressor is turned off to begin with, just so you get an idea. It's a pretty simple track, just a bit of bass and drums and a little bit of keys. All right, here we go. All right, so instantly you can hear it's a very simple track, not a lot going on, and I think this is a perfect example to show Parallel Aggressor doing its magic. It is subtle, but hopefully you can hear this on the video. So let's play it back. I've got Parallel Aggressor on now on the first preset. So straight away we can see the inputs coming in here on spank and on heat, and they're very subtle. I'll turn it off. Yeah, it's a really, really subtle adjustment here. So if you really want to be able to hear it, I mean, we can turn up the spank level here. Now you'll start to hear the compression really kicking in and actually pushing the volume down. Because if I turn it off, you'll hear the track should lift. There you go, lift it a little bit. So I just got it looped on the start of this track. Now obviously if we dial in a bit more spank here on the level, now you can, yeah, there you go, you can really hear that now. It just sort of brings everything forward. It's super compressed, but it's also got my dry signal as well, right? Now obviously that's too much. We can pull that back a bit just so it's light. And actually it pulsates. It almost... Actually what I'm finding by adjusting the spank level and then applying the spank dry wet gain here, I can actually get more of a almost pumping, really glued together sort of sound. It really works really nicely together. I'll try and go through some of the styles here for the spank as well so you can hear them. So actually if we solo it, so that's just our spank level here, which is a heavily compressed signal. So I can do a high pass on that spank sidechain. And you've also got mono here. So you see that really thins out the signal as well. Now mono probably not ideal for having on the mastering chain like this to do a mono mix like that. Obviously you want to have your track in stereo, or these days Dolby Atmos if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, you can really hear Spank doing its work. Now if we look at the character and heat signal, we just look at that on its own. A bit low, but you can see it's got a lot going on. I can turn it back a bit so it's not over the top. Turn the level up. So pretty much that's a dry signal if I turn the heat right off. But as we dial it in, obviously that's too much, but what you can see there is that is a really nice simulation of a heat signal. Now, by combining all three, we can hear all three signals working together on the master chain here. We turn it back. Oh, it's obviously got it a bit too much. Now what you can do is I can actually adjust auto gain, which will just sort of bring everything back, but it still has all those effects. So in fact, my track is being pushed. Gives your mix a nice polish and shine in a very subtle way. All right, so next what I want to show you is let's have a look at Parallel Aggressor on some individual track parts. All right, so now on this track here, I've actually got the Parallel Aggressor applied to this little Captain Punishment drum sequence I've got going on in this track. This track's a bit wild, there's a lot going on, but I wanted to show you just how Parallel Aggressor actually sounds on individual parts in a track and how useful it can be just for gluing everything together. So I got the Parallel Aggressor dark mode up here. Let's have a listen to my drums without Parallel Aggressor actually applied. All right, so yeah, you can see it's a pretty busy drum track, but let's add Parallel Aggressor to the mix here. Whoa, we've got a bit of heat on here. Actually, we don't have any heat. Let's put some heat on, turn the spank down a bit, bring that dry signal in. Bit of auto gain on there. That's really nice, actually. Actually, one thing that's really fun with Parallel Aggressor is playing around, getting the right sort of sound that you're after by dialing in the amount of spank and heat that you want, and then chucking on the auto gain once you get it right. It's really cool because it just sort of brings it all back down. I just quickly want to show you before we end the video is how it sounds on a bass line, and I've got a very nice bass line in here. That's why I wanted to use this track. It's actually the Korg Madrid bass, but it's a sampled bass, so it's really nice. Let's pop a Parallel Aggressor on here. It's really good because the Parallel Aggressor actually has some very nice presets already for bass. So I've got it on here. It's already turned on. I might, just for the sake of this video, we'll turn console 1, Soft Tube's console 1 off, just because that's probably already got some character and tone going through there. So let's turn this off first. Okay, there's the bass without Parallel Aggressor. And there it is with it on. Okay, doesn't sound like much of a difference. We'll go to some of the presets. There are some definite bass presets. Bass guitar, here we go. I'll turn it off here. Okay, cool. And definitely, wow, it's really compressed. The spank is up quite high. We can blend these levels till we're happy with them. Turn auto gain off so I can really hear it. Wow, that's pretty warm actually. Turn that heat back a bit. And we turn it off so you can hear it off. Yeah, it's quite massive, the change. Let's have a listen to that in the mix. Here we go. Turn it off. Oh, it's beautiful. It's probably a bit hot to put auto gain on. That's better. Oh man, that auto gain is an actual lifesaver. Like, that actually keeps everything in check and just makes it sound like it is definitely part of the track. All right, guys, so that's what I wanted to show you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Parallel Aggressor, go check it out from Baby Audio. It just came out last week. Fantastic little plugin if you want to sort of glue all your mix together. There is currently an introduction price of $29, but after that, it'll go to its regular price of $49. Not an expensive plugin, and for what you get, even though it might not come across too well in this video, which I hope it does, is that, yes, it is subtle, but you can actually dial in more if you need to, but I think for what this tool is actually used for, you don't need an over-the-top effect. You just need something subtle that's actually going to glue everything together, and as you can see from these audio examples, it does a very good job at that. All right, thanks so much for joining me on Emlyn in the Mix. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review on the podcast if you are a subscriber to the podcast. I haven't got many reviews, 5-star, 1-star, whatever you're going to leave. Like this video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel as we reach towards 2,000 subscribers here on Emlyn in the Mix. We're getting there. It's slow, but I really hope that the audio technology world comes and joins me, and we can look at amazing audio technology together. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Until next time, you know what to do. Peace out. Boom.